and every information you need while you react.
This morning, we're taking a look at the Punch newspapers, the Daily Trust, the Guardian, the Vanguard, and This Day newspapers. Let's get started with what the Punch front pages are saying. Federal government may ground 60 private jets today. That's a major story on the front pages of the Punch newspaper. God never planned suffering for Nigerians, says Obasanjo. Dangote meets marketers Tuesday over new petrol price. PDP crisis, Damagun camp, anti-Wike governors may clash today. Benin, Togo owe Nigeria $5.7 million electricity debt, according to NERC. FG, Italy finalized talks on 34 new fighter jets. Cooking gas price jumps to 1,500 naira per kg. NDLEA nabs Thailand returnee with 3 billion naira drugs. And finally, on the front pages, Obaseki Okpebolo's transition panels discuss handover today. There's more stories you'd find on the Punch newspapers this morning.
Moving on now to what the Vanguard is saying. DSS releases 2 #End Bad Governance protesters in Kaduna. Rising energy costs push manufacturers to brink of collapse. As economic hardship bites, superstores lose patronage. Edo government writes Okpebolo, APC on formation of transition team. Pandemonium as thugs invade APC event. 15-year-old tricycle rider hacked to death. Man sets grandmother ablaze in Jigawa. I'm not interested in any political office. Fayose distances self from PDP chairmanship race. Nigeria not snubbed in UN Human Rights Council election presidency. Reverse latest hike in petrol price pending court verdict, Serap tells Tinubu. Dangote plans crude oil production to feed $20 billion refinery. And that's it on the Vanguard.
Let's move on now to what the Daily Trust is saying on the front pages. Lagdo Dam, high-risk states brace for floods. PDP governors meet over party's crisis today. Ipman hopes for lower price as talks with Dangote begin. Amidst 27 million housing deficit, many estates unoccupied in Abuja. Severe malnutrition rises by 51% in North. Nigeria not on ballot for UN Human Rights Council poll, says presidency. NIMET predicts thunderstorms, moderate rains in Taraba, Borno, others. Governments ask residents to relocate. You'd find our story in the front pages of the Daily Trust. And finally, on the Daily Trust newspapers for this morning, complete fight against banditry before returning to barracks, Army tells officers. You find these headlines and more on the front pages of the Daily Trust newspapers for this morning. And finally, on the Guardian newspapers, uncertainty over minimum wage execution as state governments falter. PDP crisis deepens. Mohammed takes charge, demands swift action. Importers decry 25 million naira clearance for 40-feet container. CSOs demand EFCC chair's resignation over Ganduje's alleged 50 billion naira fraud. Reverse petrol price pending court verdict, Serap tells Tinubu. Consumer index loses 1.25% in 1 week as investors stake 31.5 billion naira in equities. Obasanjo tasks leaders on judicious use of resources. NDLEA seizes 25 billion naira drugs in nationwide crackdown, arrests suspects. And finally, on the Guardian newspapers this morning, IMF lowers borrowing costs by 36%. These and more stories you'd find on the front pages of the Guardian newspapers this morning.
And moving on to our final stop for today is that This Day has got this headline: Mohammed accepts to replace Damagun as PDP crisis deepens. Keep faith with Tinubu, Tugger appeals to Nigerians. Nigeria's foreign debt may hit $50 billion. Aftermath of COVID intervention, 70% of oxygen equipment lying waste, says Global Fund. Binance executives, family lament bail denial, plead with government. Presidency, votes cast against Nigeria at UN Human Rights Council election in error. TED Fund to intervene in provision of infrastructure in new aviation varsity. Epis, our chairman innocent as U.S. files fresh charges. Shatima, Tinubu's administration will empower Nigerians with competitive skills for exports. PDP governors meet over party crisis. Mark Suswan jostle for chairmanship. And that's it on this day. Time to get to your reactions right now. Please, when you call or get through on the phone lines, move away from your device, state your name, your location, and kindly go straight to sharing your thoughts. We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Princess. I'm Obasanjo calling you from Niger State, Amali.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Obasanjo said God never planned Nigerian to be the hardship. It's a man-made. Only in African that you see leaders as if they are not well. The citizens follow. All of them follow. I don't really know what is happening in this country. It's uncalled for that the presidency will keep increasing pains to Nigerians, to the poor people in the country. There is no school, there is no road, there is no hospital. Institutions have been so collapsed. Companies has been so collapsed that the medical care, you can no longer have it. I don't know what do we call this type of government. Between the banditry and the federal government-led administration, I don't even know who is inflicting pains to. Is it Bello Turji or the federal government? I don't really know.
All right.
Between the Turji and federal government, please somebody should give me the answer. Define it for us so that we can get it. We can understand.
All right, then.
Killing people, who is suffering people.
All right, thank you so much for calling. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is Salam from South.
Go ahead.
Please.
I just want to comment about our president to say that we should have everything. Number one, good thing that our president is supposed to do is to look for good advisors because he's dealing us. Time is going. If you reach March, that is 2 years in the government. 2 years. After that one, campaign will start. So our president should not be promised all this to have patience, to have this one, to have this one.
All right. All right, then. Thank you so much for calling. Good morning.
Okay. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Dickie Itodo. I
Yes.
greet you once again.
Welcome.
My name is Salasi.
Please go ahead.
It's not only in the north that we are talking of malnutrition. Oh. It's all over the country. Oh. Because now we don't have balanced diet. The balanced diet is from God Almighty. Because whatever that one have that is just what someone need to consume. So giving the order to the military men, yes, they should give them order. We don't want to hear any of repentant bandit or any repentant Boko Haram bringing them, and at the end they will run out and they will go. Come and get the secret of our security men, and they will still go back to perpetrate the criminals. Now we are talking of gas hit 1,500 naira per kg. Then tell me what is easy. Tell me the cheapest thing in this country now. People are buying gas at the rate of 1,500. Now go in the morning now. Look at queue, and it's not that these people are buying this fuel at the rate of 800 or 700 naira. They are buying this fuel maybe in some places 1,200 naira per liter. Which way Nigeria? Which way? How can Nigeria continue in such manner? I hope that God will help us. All
right.
I hope that God will help us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
The number one celebrity and personality of the world.
Welcome.
Where's my shakira? I remember.
Yeah.
Nowhere
I'm calling
close.
from PW Kobo this morning.
Welcome.
I'm happy this morning. You know why?
Tell us about it.
You better say, Pepe don't they touch big man eye now. The one ground 60 private jet share.
Yes.
I love that story. More to be grounded. Do we have repentant family of disease killed by banditry or Boko Haram? Honestly, I'm confused. Honestly. They are forcing us to believe there is a kind of business going on with people's life. This must stop, and it should stop. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Gabriella, hail you.
Good morning. Thank you for calling. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. You're welcome.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
How are you?
Good. Thank you for asking. Please go ahead.
Are you hearing me clear?
We can hear you clearly.
Someone is telling Nigeria to society to have hope with Tinubu. I don't know whether it's Stagger or this. I don't know his name. Let's for instance, you want to renovate your house, you remove zinc. You don't make to return to your family where to stay before you renovate your house. When rain and sun is shining, rain is raining, it's beating them. They don't know what to do. You are giving your family hope to exercise patient where they are dying. Is that what you mean? I've already told you people, Pharaoh of Egypt have grandchildren in this country. You people will not believe. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Gabriella.
Good morning.
Morning, Dickie.
Good morning. Please go ahead. What's your name?
Maskman calling from Apo.
Welcome, Askman.
Shetima saying Tinubu administration is going to empower Nigeria to the extent they will be exporting commodities. It's a good dream, but they've made so many promises. We are going to give out money to limited liabilities. We are giving money to entrepreneurs to do this, to do that. How much have they given out? Why must you come out to talk what you know people expect you to do? You will say you will do it and then you will not do it. Is that what is called leadership? What sort of people are we in this country?
Sorry about that. Let's take some messages right now on YouTube.
On YouTube, Jamil Haruna says his wallet dropped off yesterday. He lost his wallet off the bonnet of his truck while negotiating somewhere in Zone 3 in Wuse. for ATM cards and driver's license. So if you do find anything of such description, do well to let us know. Ken Akpan, good morning to you. Let's take some messages on WhatsApp now. This here says, good morning once again. Nigerian government borrowing money almost every day, but unfortunately the people cannot feel the impact. These people in government should stop mortgaging our future and stop borrowing. Oludade Abiodun sent that in. And this here says, good morning. Our debt will continue rising because of corruption emanating from bad leadership, a situation whereby leaders borrow money to enrich themselves rather than using it to better the life of the citizens by constructing good roads, industries, etc. Leaders of Nigeria need to do better. Opulent from Buhari says. This here says, good morning, Nigeria Info. So nothing good could come out of Nigeria. Cooking gas now 1,500 naira per kg. This government is not considering the people, but only politicians and cabals. Only the people can take back this country. Waiting for politicians to fix the country is like waiting for the devil to repent, he says. Emmanuel Bako Kenny sends that in. And this says, good morning. Nigerians need to be patient with this current administration. Reform is not easy. Skedo sends that in from Life Camp. And this says, I'm not asking God to help us and have mercy on Nigerians again, because until we help or have mercy on ourselves, then God will. I came back from Aba this weekend, and a liter of fuel is 1,500 naira, and in some fuel stations, 1,650. My cooking gas is about to finish and thinking about how to buy it at 1,500. I pay over 4,500 naira every day to work. Where are we headed? Mr. Innocent is asking.
All right, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning, welcome. What's your
Good
name?
morning.
Good morning.
Do you know the problem of Nigeria?
Tell us your name first.
My name is Bonanza.
Go ahead, Bonanza.
The problem is that when somebody that is not a graduate is reading a graduate, that is the problem of this country. And the worst thing that will happen to you is that when somebody that is a PhD holder is being driven with ordinary school staff, you will know the difference. We have seen it all. Show me the police station that ATC and the Mose ticket is buying fuel. Let me just change the ownership. Let me tell you, the problem of this country, on Abacha said before, Abacha said when insecurity continue, the business of the government of the day know about it. Are you telling me that what is going on in Nigeria, that the government is not aware? Dangote is the most problem of Nigeria.
All right.
Let me tell you today.
All right.
The monopoly of him is big competition being involved. If not, we'll be going the same circle. Go and check what this can say.
All right.
2019. This is not happening.
All right, Bonanza.
We will buy food at 1,005.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Let's move on to somebody else on WhatsApp. Good morning. Are you there? Welcome.
Boys, how are you? Good morning.
Very well, thank you. How are you?
So delighted to call you this morning. I'm happy to be in Nigeria. My name is Mrs. Somenza.
Happy to hear from you.
To
Welcome.
check time.
Mm.
For mouth, I talk, I'm no more. Cooking gas, 1,500. You know, before now, we encourage Nigerians to use cooking gas. You know why? To reduce felling of tree and other things that have to do with environment.
Mm.
Now that is going for 1.5, I tell you for free. People will now start felling trees, using charcoal and firewood.
Are you there?
Afford it. Quickly, yesterday, hello, yeah, I'm here. Can
Yeah,
you hear me?
go ahead. You went off for a second, but go ahead, please.
Yesterday, a customer called me that, come and buy egg, you will soon start selling for 10,000 naira.
Mm.
10,000 naira. And you talk about malnutrition in the north. Not be only not to some of us, now malnutrition be our name. See, ba, it's only God that will help us. Then you plan your life. But I'll tell you for free, when noodles said they will increase their own to 70,000, people boycotted. Nobody told them to bring it back. You see egg, cooking gas is something people can do without. It's just the egg is source of protein. That's why people will manage. They no go buy. They will come back to status quo. Government subsidize things for us. It's telling on our head and our family. How can a civil servant be sleeping in the office till Friday? You will go home simply because the person cannot have transport fare and nobody is seeing anything wrong with it. Will it increase productivity or decrease productivity?
All right.
Working at home, the ones working at home.
Thank you so much for calling.
I don't.
All right, thank
right.
you for sharing your thoughts. We're going through the headlines and getting your reactions. You can catch up on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. Also, Francis Namani from Amangunze on WhatsApp says the president should listen to the yearnings, aspirations, and demands of Nigerians over the current economic hardship and do the needful to ameliorate the sufferings of the masses. Which way, Nigeria? May God help us, is how he ends his thoughts. And this message from Ishaku in Lube says this federal government has been telling Nigerians to be patient because its policies will yield results in 2 years. I have been trying to understand this logic but seem lost deeply. They never waited for the policies to start working before paying themselves large sum of allowances, buying things, making them live large. If that is not deception, I wonder what it is. Every country gives its citizens and business environments policies that make their country move forward. Ours has always been backwards with the government that has come on board. I believe governance is about sacrifice, but in this part of the world, it's about getting rich without much work. I tend to conclude that this may be the reason history was removed from our schools' curriculum, so that these deeds will not be mentioned. The day we have our leaders who love this country, then we'll start seeing Nigeria as a great country. I will continue to emphasize these individuals are always after themselves and not Nigerians. Nigeria will surely overcome, is what Ishaku in Lube says. Hope you slept well. We did. Did you?
I did, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you for asking, Fitzgerald. Tinubu should reverse the fuel price to reduce the suffering of the masses. Tinubu's government, this government, is heading towards an end I can't explain, is what he says.
All right. This says, good morning. Nigerians are good at lamenting, but less action to show. No country in Africa can endure the bleak economic crisis without taking actions. We're suffering and still applauding Nigerians. Mark Janus from Maitama sends that in. When you see lies and refuse to say something, the lies will surely destroy you one day. We have been ridden with hunger, inflation, uncertainty, corruption, insecurity. Corruption cannot fight corruption. To fight corruption, you must surrender to equity. A leader who actually wants to fight corruption and recklessness must surrender all that he has corruptly enriched himself with. A leader who is